My name's Josh, and I'm not a trust fund baby, but they leave me in the trust.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Blanc's Gold Podcast, where we cover everything from the come up to the bust down. Today I got my co-host in the building, my twin, Blanco Rob.
Yo.
And we have our special guest in the building, Josh.
What's up?
Thanks for coming, my brother. We appreciate you. Okay, we start every episode what we call a drip check. You show us your ice and tell us the price.
It's on you, Josh.
All right,
Yeah.
so basically right now I'm wearing my J chain with my multicolored tennis necklace, and I'm wearing an AP and a Freemason ring.
If you want, you can shout out your jewelers too.
This is from Wafi. This I got actually passed down from my grandfather. And this is from Trax NYC, and this is from Marcello.
Nice. And what else you got over there? We'll run through it all one time.
I have some bangles, some custom pendants, some investment pieces, some coins, some nameplates, couple bracelets, rings.
And we see you got a lot of pieces. You have an estimated value for all total?
Probably everything, including what I'm wearing, probably like 150.
150?
Yeah.
Roughly? Nice. All right. So now that we got the ice out the way, why don't you give us a little backstory, like where you from, what's your upbringing, things like that?
So I'm from Brooklyn, Canarsie. I was raised in Queens. I stood in Brooklyn till I was probably like 3. We had to dip because of my father. So we went to Queens, me and my mother, and I grew up there, and then I eventually moved to Rockland County.
Would you say you grew up fortunate or you grew up like in poverty?
No, I grew up sleeping with cockroaches on the floor in a closet. My mom was always hustling. She was working at a firm since she gave birth to me. She was like a pre-paralegal, pre-law school. So she was always at work, and I was just always like with a babysitter, but not like a real sitter, like a friend, someone who was home. And we grew up, in Queens and in Brooklyn. It was a lot. We got shot at on the Brooklyn Bridge. It wasn't easy growing up. People think like, oh, I got money, I came from something, but I hustled to where I'm at.
Yeah, so you said your father, you mentioned your father, and then you said your mom. So single family household, or you had both parents?
Single family household. My mom got remarried to my stepfather. She's been with him for 20 years. He does his role as a dad, but financially he was never really there. My mom always played that role as mom and dad, so that was it. My father was incarcerated when I was 2.
So when you were in 2, that's when you were still living in Canarsie to Flossie, right?
Yeah, I was still in Canarsie.
So his incarceration had to do with the reason you had to move to Queens?
Yeah, my mom's best friend was murdered, which led us having to move, and later finding out that my father was a part of this whole scheme. That's why we had to dip.
So where's your father now?
He's in Elmira. He's in a maximum facility, and he's serving life. He's actually due for parole next year.
Yeah, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 30.
So he's been in there 28 years?
Yeah. He's
Wow.
been in...
He was probably there when I was there.
I know your brother told me you served some time, so I was like, yeah. His name's Joshua Torres, too.
Oh, yeah, they don't give too many real names.
Yeah, he's in the Lion King, so...
Oh, yeah.
I don't have no affiliation with that, but he does. I think that's what has kept him alive for so long in jail.
Do you maintain contact with him?
Yeah, I spoke to him last year. We don't talk as much. I'm not really a part of that side of the family. I try to minimize my communication. Not even respect for my mom, just respect for myself and what I grew up and going through, what I went through, you know? So I talked to him. I don't have no ill will against him, no bad intentions, but what he did was a little crazy. So,
It sounds traumatic. Did that impact your life in any way, whether positive or negative?
yeah, sometimes I go places and I hear people, they see my name, they're like, oh, your father. Like when I come to Brooklyn sometimes and it's people around my mom's age and I run into people and they'll be like, oh, even if it's in a store, they'll be like, your dad, is that your dad? And I'm like, oh, shit. So, yeah, it's a little crazy what he did. So,
So, most people, especially growing up in Brooklyn, when they have situations like that where their dad ends up incarcerated and stuff like that, is usually a trend where the children follow that path and stuff like that.
he didn't have no upbringing. That's why I don't talk to my grandmother. I think I hold that against her because she wasn't a mother to him. He was pimping people out at 14.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Yeah.
he was living on the streets, stealing cars for parts, robbing people, crazy stuff.
Now, do you have siblings?
I have a brother, yes.
And how did he turn out?
He's 27. He turned out good, but we have different fathers.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's only one sibling from the father.
Correct, yes. My dad only got one son, and that's me.
Yeah. So you said you moved to Rockland County. Do you think that changed your life, like in a positive way?
Yeah, more of a better way because my grandmother thought that it was time for me to even get out of Queens because I was running around with the wrong crowds, getting in trouble with the cops, getting arrested.
And how old were you then?
13, 14.
And what part of Queens?
I was living in, first we were living in Forest Hills and then we moved to Astoria. And we were only in Forest Hills for maybe like 4 months, but we lived in Astoria for quite some time.
So what do you do now, like to be able to afford all that jewelry?
Now I do LPN Hospice privately. I'm a care manager for private patients who come through my mom's firm. So I deal with individuals who don't have families. They're multimillionaires who need their stuff managed to make sure they're getting what they paid for in their will before, their time comes. So these people have no kids. I come in and I take control of everything.
It's interesting because I read something pertaining to like elderly, and from my understanding, it's majority of males that end up in these facilities.
Yes, that is actually true. Majority are males. I would say 70% are males and 30% are females in assisted living facilities, and majority of them don't have no children.
And do you think the ones that do have families, they possibly led a selfish life, and that's why they have nobody?
Yes, I definitely see it. I see people coming with Bentleys, the newest cars, Ferraris. Their parents are staying at $10,000 a month facilities, but they're not really getting. They say you pay for what you get, but when it comes to stuff like that, you really don't.
Unless they come to your agency, then they'll be well taken care of, right?
Yeah, exactly. Correct.
Okay.
Doing work like that, does it impact your way of thinking? Like just thinking about how those people end up, you're seeing them on their way out basically, and you're pretty much all they have the last few years of their life. Does that affect how do you carry yourself and what do you plan your life as?
That's a good question because at first I was affected like, wow, this can't be possible. How people, how are you a multimillionaire? You can't even wipe your own ass right now. No one's here to look after you, And then I gotta come in. It was a little like, wow, this shit is real. Like, like people go through shit like this. But as time goes on, you sort of get like numb to it and realize like you're here for a job. Like I come in and I work with care, but at the end of the day, I know that you are going. I'm here for hospice care, so I know that you are going. People say it's like the angel of death, type of experience. So you do learn a lot from it. I learned to live life like it's my last day every day, and that's what I took from it. Travel, no job is gonna really care if you die because you're gonna get replaced.
Mm-hmm. Now, do they offer like advice as far as like how you should be living your life now that you have your youth?
Mainly, I would say like just be your authentic self, do what you gotta do. Definitely always have a hustle. Not everybody gotta work a 9 to 5. I don't work a 9 to 5. I work 4 to 6 hours a day, maybe 3 times a week, and I take home a good amount. It's all about, I think people have to find their niche, what they are good in, and what you could profit from that.
How'd you get into that? Like, what kind of schooling and qualifications you had to go to?
So in high school, one of my teachers had came up to me and she was like, "We're offering this program at BOCES, and maybe you should do it." And it was home health aid. So I did that, and I was like, "I'm not wiping people's asses." I did it for like 2 years, and I was like, it was good money, it was a good start, but I was like, I'm not wiping people's ass. I remember I was at some guy's house. They were Indian, and they with their hands. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot in the
And they
movies.
also wipe with their hands. That I didn't know. So one day I came in, and he took his hand and he wiped his ass and he threw shit on the wall.
That's nasty.
And he was like, "Clean it." And I walked right out. I was like, I'm never doing this shit again.
Yeah.
And I went to BOCES. I got my LPN. I went to Monroe College in the Bronx, got my associate's degree. And then I worked up from there. And I opened my own home care company, Visiting Angels.
Wow, congrats.
And I wound up selling it 2 years later.
Nice.
Did you turn a profit?
Yes, I did.
Congrats. That's what
I
it's all
sold
about.
it with all my clients besides my private ones.
So do you work independently still, or are you under somebody else at the moment?
I'm independent still. I haven't had a boss maybe for like, I've been my own boss for 6 years now.
Now, what do you think, for like advice-wise for somebody who probably is passionate about healthcare or just want to help the elderly like that, but they're probably not as tough as you as far as dealing with death?
Well, first thing I want to say is a lot of people don't know. If you come into money, definitely make a will. There's a loophole in the legal field that when you get older, you can't get Medicaid. That stuff don't...
Yeah.
You can get Medicaid if you're dirt broke, but if you got money, you're gonna wind up paying probably like $8,000 a month for healthcare, and that's a lot, maybe to $15,000 a month. So, a good thing to do is when you're in your 50s, get a trust, put all your money in a trust, and 5 years later, the government can't do a look back. They can't look at how much money you made. Basically, you're broke, so you can file for Medicaid. It's a legal loophole.
If your dad does see the day where he comes out and stuff like that, are you gonna establish a relationship with him? And then how old is he now?
Most definitely, I would definitely establish a relationship with him. He's probably 49,
Oh, he's young.
50. Yeah, he's young, my dad. He's
Is he-
not old.
Your mom's young too, I'm assuming.
My mom is the same age. Correct.
Oh, wow.
No, can I pivot back to the hospice thing real quick? In their last dying days, do they appreciate you more for like the physical care or the emotional care that you give them?
Both. It comes to a play at... I remember one of my patients, it was his last breath. And he was like, "Thank you so much for everything you've done for me." And I was like, "No problem." I didn't even think nothing of it. And literally, 20 minutes later, he was gone. So I appreciate... They appreciate and I appreciate what I learned. I had people from teachers to sharpshooters in the army to people who were pilots. So I've learned so much just from themselves, their stories, and what I've seen, and I appreciate that a lot.
So it sounds like they're in good hands if they come to you. How could anybody watching this that has an elderly relative contact you so that you could take care of their family?
Well, definitely contact me privately.
Yeah.
Majority of my clients are privates. They come into my mom's firm. My mom works at a firm, and that's how I get my clients.
Now, has any of them ever left you in their will?
Yes, I had one of my clients. I used to take care of her and her husband when I was a home health aide. And I eventually left that role and became their care manager later on in life. And she left me in her will, and she left me some money,
Nice.
which was really nice.
Nice.
Now, is any of your jewelries, being that you have a lot, any of them sentimental, like from a client or anything like that?
Yes, a few pieces, probably 3 pieces were left behind to me.
You care to share?
Yes. There was actually this bracelet right here is a charm bracelet.
And you want to hold them up for the camera? Sorry, brother.
That's okay. This one, added my name to it. It was just a charm bracelet.
Oh,
and
so
I
you
just-
put your Josh on it.
Yeah,
That's nice.
added my name to it. And then this one, along with this one.
Oh, those definitely look
They're
like...
pocket watches. Yeah, these were from a pilot that I took care of.
Do they have any significant stories, like from a war or anything?
That I don't know, but this one is pretty old. This one is actually from my other client. She got these in England, and she just gave them to me.
Nice. Those look English.
Now, do you still travel to the city often, or you just stay in Rockland?
I go out in the city a lot. Sometimes not too much. I have a great few friends that I hang out with, mostly in Westchester. We come to the city for some things, but I'm out here still sometimes. I just keep a low profile.
Do you wear jewelry occasionally or daily?
I wear my jewelry occasionally. Usually I'm wearing my Cuban link. Today I put on my J pendant. But yeah, I wear my jewelry occasionally.
And how's the safety you feel?
I always feel safe. No matter what, I'm always... If I don't have a gun on me, I have a knife. Yeah. I always have a knife on me.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. I'm going with it. You're not leaving. I'm going with it.
Yeah, but like even wearing a watch like that, you never had no issues going around the city?
It's so funny because a lot of people ask me that. Like every time I travel, my mom's like, take off your jewelry, take off your jewelry. And I'm like, no. But I see what she means, but I don't have a fear of if it comes to that, it comes to that. But just know you're not leaving. It's not going to be easy.
Now, we always ask people, like, does their jewelry help them appeal to more clients? I guess in your case, does your jewelry maybe help your clients trust you more? Maybe they were not worried about their belongings because they see that you're pretty well off?
That is true. That is a factor that plays a big role because when I have some clients who had care managers steal from them. And then when I come in, it's like a relief, like, wow, this is actually what I could get. So it does play a role. I also how you keep yourself, your work ethic, your education. I feel like that plays a factor. You can have no education and still, appeal to someone that you are trustworthy. It just matters how you carry yourself. And I'm the type of person, like, I work hard for my stuff. I wouldn't want nobody taking nothing from me, so.
So, how do you choose what your style is of jewelry? How do you choose when you buy something? Does it signify like a accomplishment or something like that?
Yes, that's funny you say that. Every time I hit like a certain goal, like I save up, I'm like, all right, I could get this now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so the more from when I was younger, probably when I was always into jewelry from my mom. She always had like door knockers, crazy chains, old school stuff. She always put me onto things. So I grew up with that. So I feel like every time it's like a accomplishment or something, I buy myself something.
Nice.
Now, you think you follow trends more, or you feel like you set trends?
I feel like I like to set trends, but I also like to follow stuff that I like. Like if it's something that's a vibe, I'm gonna fuck with it. If it's not, I'm not. There's some things that I do like that are trendy, and then me, I'm just more of like, I put whatever I want on.
Yeah. So you buy based on the value or the style? Like you don't care if you lose money as long as the style is?
No, I'll buy something that's worth $1 that looks dope.
Because you know people are tough criticism when it comes to bust down watches and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's tough criticism, but I'm wearing purple jeans, polo shoes, and a misbehaved shirt right now, so it's nothing crazy.
What would you say to the watch fanatics out there that they shame people for busting down watches?
Got a life. I'm gonna do what I want. Yeah. A plain Jane and a bust down, it's all the same.
Yeah, so you prefer bust down, definitely, right?
I do prefer. It depends on what it is. Like if I'm buying an 18K Rolex, I'm not gonna bust it down.
Yeah,
I agree.
I see though. You got a big collection, and then you also got a big coin collection. Do you look at all your jewelry like in an investment aspect, or is it just that you just keep it separate?
Yes, I look at majority of my jewelry as an investment. If I'm paying for something, I want to know the clarity, the weight. If I'm putting money into it, I want to know that the gold weight especially is going into it that I'm paying for, and the diamonds are what I'm paying for. So I look at every piece as an investment piece. When I was young, I didn't really do that. I would just buy stuff. But as I got older, I started to realize like gold is an investment.
Yeah.
I bought these coins right here for like $700, and now they're worth today's value.
Yeah.
So
you more than doubled already on those, at least.
Yeah, at least. So I have quite a few of those.
Now, let me ask you a question. You take care of a lot of strangers, right? And obviously your dad has been gone the majority of your life. Would you still find it hard to take care of him when he's elderly? Or would you have a resentment?
Of course, at the end of the day, that's still my dad. We may not talk that much, but again, I do talk to him when he calls me. Sometimes I don't answer, but I will take care of him. That's my father. That's my blood. Family's family. You know, he did something crazy, but at the end of the day, that my mom always told me, like, even though she don't talk to him. So basically, my father killed my mother's best friend, along with like maybe 7 other individuals. And my mom didn't have me growing up like hate your dad. She told me, do what you want. You want to talk to that side, that's up to you. But I would still take care of him, yeah. Even though he's crazy, probably, yeah.
Now, what do you think the incidents were about? Money or like infidelity or something like that?
No, everything was about money. Her father was a big time. He was in the mafia. He worked for an oil rig, and they held her for ransom.
Do people ever assume you got your jewelry from illegal activities?
Oh my gosh, so many times I got accused of selling cocaine. I don't even, crazy stuff.
You want to get the record straight for the haters?
I don't sell drugs.
No, a lot of people have that stigma when you see people nice jewelry. They assume drug dealers scam like
They assume that, and yeah, if I could scam, I would. I don't know how to.
Yeah, that's basically the premise of the podcast. We like your jewelry collection is crazy. A lot of people think people get it, off of crazy deals or they're athletes or drug dealers or something like that. So it's nice having people like you that have crazy collections and could promote their story to help people find a different way to be like that.
Yeah, I work hard.
And your story's unique because you got it mostly from giving love to the elderly. That's cool, man.
Yeah, it is. It's some of that's from that and also from myself. So it is. It's good.
Yeah, but either way, you work with them, you get paid. It's still,
Yeah,
the same revenue.
it is.
Can you remember like a specific moment that was a turning point where your life was like hard and the struggle to where, is there a specific incident where it finally started turning to be good? And can you remember a specific time that turned your life around?
Dealing with trauma, I feel like going through what I went through and seeing what my mom went through with my dad, to then going through what my mom went through with my father's dad, that was a reality check. Like, if my mom's going through this, other people got to be going through this.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you say that because they say most women fall in love with who their dad is. So maybe your dad was a reflection of her dad, and maybe you just broke the cycle.
My mom don't even know her dad. He flew. My mom was 2 years old, and my grandfather flew on a plane to Hawaii and never came back.
Oh.
Damn.
But he was a mobster, right?
No, not my
No,
my
his dad.
grandfather. He owns a bombing company in Utah, and he just left to Hawaii.
Wait,
Left
like
3
bombing
kids.
bodies or like actual bombs?
No, actual bombs. He created like bombs, grenades.
Oh, wow.
Explosive ordnance.
Yeah, then he just dipped to Hawaii. Didn't look back. We haven't heard from him.
That's crazy. Though. Both of you lost your dad that too.
Yeah, my mom went through a lot, and I feel like I went through a lot, but you can't let that break you. You gotta come out of that, and that's what you gotta do ultimately.
Would you have changed anything how it happened, or you think that's a credit to where you are now?
Back then, I would say yes, but now I'm like, I feel like it's the person who I became was from the experiences that I went through. If I wouldn't have witnessed half the shit that I've been through, I probably wouldn't be who I am today.
Yeah.
What's one of the worst things you feel like you've been through?
That would probably be, I think, getting shot at on the Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah, I thought that was traumatic.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna die probably.
Yeah, we got shot at. There was...
He was on foot or in a car?
No, we were in a car, and we got shot at, and it went through the door and almost hit my brother. Thank God the bullets didn't go through.
How old were you?
I was probably like 15.
So I'm assuming they were trying to shoot your dad?
No, so it was just a regular... It was the people I was chilling with. It was the wrong people, the wrong time, and I'm sitting here watching my little brother, and we're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
On the Brooklyn Bridge is crazy.
Yeah.
What do you feel like was a highlight for you, like a positive thing for you?
Probably when I started going to school. I felt like after going to school and getting myself together and taking myself from the partying and hanging out with wild crowds, I think that's what grounded me. It solidified. My mom always, I had to pay rent when I was 14. Whether it was like $100 a week or something, I always had to pay something. So that solidified me into like, you gotta work, you gotta do this. This is what, my mom made me pay bills from 14 on. Like me and my mom have a house together, we split it, and I'm still paying the mortgage with her, but it's like she instilled something in me that was a work ethic. Like, you want to have fun, you gotta make money.
Did you ever feel a point in your life that maybe you wanted to follow your dad's footsteps? Or maybe that was like an expectation of you?
No, but my mom always said that I reminded her of my father when I would get in trouble. Mm-hmm. Like when I would do stupid shit, she'd be like, you're like your dad. They say it's in your DNA. I believe so too, but I don't know. That's a good question.
Do any of these elderly men ever hit on you?
Oh my gosh. I had my last client who passed away. I was in the shower and I had to run in. It was a hot day in the summer, and I asked his wife if I could take a quick shower, and he tried coming in the shower with me. Yeah. So it's happened. You just tell them no. A lot of them have dementia, so they don't know. So I try to give them a pass for that.
Has anybody ever turned you away your services with like discrimination reasons?
No, thank God I never had to deal with that. The people I dealt with have been great. I never got turned away from any services that I've offered. Usually people seek me. I don't go out seeking.
Have you ever took care of a woman?
Yes. Majority of my clients are women.
Oh, okay. I thought they were men.
No, majority are women.
Oh, wow.
It's 70% women, 30% men, I would say.
Do you ever have family members that question you as far as like how good of a job you're doing? I would assume like kids overprotective and things like that.
Yeah, I actually do. I'm staying with a client now, and her family is in London, so it's pretty difficult communicating with them. So the time frames are different. So whenever they want to relay a message, I'm asleep. So that is a problem. But I don't really have issues with families. Everything usually is smooth, unless there's a problem, usually, which is never. So
what's next for you? Like, what motivates you and keeps you going, and where you plan on seeing yourself in the future?
What motivates me and keep me going is I always want more. I think that's what I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to always having, I want more of, I feel like every person should be like that. You just want the best for you, you know?
I agree.
So I feel like just going back to school, I'm going to go back further my degree. I have my bachelor's already. So I want to get my master's, and I'm just going to keep pursuing school and keep building my career.
Now I notice you have like Cartier. Why you don't have Van Cleef?
I actually do. I didn't bring them today.
Oh, okay.
I forgot. I just took whatever was in my safety deposit box, and it was like a last minute thing.
I just asked her, super trendy. You see males, you see females.
Yeah, I have two.
Yeah.
I have a white and black.
What is your like a dream item that you want to get?
My dream item would be... That's a tough one. I don't know. I would say a Richard Mille, but they're kind of ugly to me.
It's just a flex of it.
Yeah. It's just the flex of it, I feel like.
Clout behind
it's just the clout behind it, exactly. But I think I would like to get a nice emerald cut tennis necklace. Probably 20 carats.
Yeah, I see you got the sapphire tennis bracelet, like with the square stones.
Yes, I love sapphire. Sapphire, I feel like is such... You can't go wrong with blue, especially blue sapphires. I feel like that's like the best thing.
What's your favorite piece of them all?
Probably, I'm honestly gonna say, I think my favorite piece would be... I'm wearing it. It's my J. My mom gave me this.
Oh, wow.
How old were you when she gave you that?
Probably 20. She got this from Trax.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You don't have no jewelry left over from your dad?
I do some stuff, but that I keep home. I just keep only a couple items, nothing crazy.
So if you'd say your dad's getting released when?
No, he's due for parole in 25.
Has he gone up for parole yet?
No, this would be his first time.
So more than likely they probably gonna hit him with the 2 years. Not to wish
Honestly,
that on him. I hope he get out, but you know.
he went for they tried getting him on 6 murders. They only were able to pin him on 1. But majority is he said, she said, but he did do it. That we know.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's convicted.
According to
Yeah.
the,
But the thing is, nobody ever got my mom's side of the story in this whole situation, not even the police.
Was
Maybe.
your mom there when it happened? Like, what's her take on everything?
So apparently, this is what was happening. My mom was going out. My mom wasn't going out. A couple of the girls were going out to a club, and my mom didn't feel good. She was like, I'm going to stay home, plus nobody's here to watch my son, so I'm going to just stay with my son. And they rented a garage across my mom's best friend, Kim. They were living together. So, were they living together or next to each other? And they both rented the same garage across. So my mom didn't go out that day with Kim, and Kim didn't come home. So everybody's like, where's Kim? Her car's in the garage. Her door knocker nameplate is on the floor. Something popped off. She's gone. She's not back. So everybody's looking for her. Her father's in the street breaking $100 bills, giving people half. Like, if you know any information, I'll give you the other half. So, like, so many people. 3 days go by, 4 days go by. Everybody's looking for her. Nobody could find her. And eventually they found out that it was my dad with a couple other individuals who he allegedly also murdered, because they said he didn't want nobody telling the story, like snitching,
because
they were
whacking
questioning
witnesses and stuff.
Yeah, basically like whacking the witnesses, getting people.
You think it was gang related or just strictly money, like you said?
They were asking for $150K in ransom. They were calling, leaving voicemails. Eventually, they got nervous and set the house that she was in on fire while she was alive. They thought she died because it was during the winter.
Yeah.
So she was cold, but she was still alive.
That's crazy because you live both lives. You got somebody who was committing heinous acts for money, and then you got people on their last days that have a lot of money and money doesn't even matter.
No, it's funny how you put it like that, because that is true.
Yeah, so you
I
got
never
to
thought
see
of it
both
like
sides
that.
of that. Yeah,
Yeah, that is true. So
that's definitely deep. Would you, if your dad wants to continue a life of crime upon his release, will you disown him, or are you gonna try to help him do the right thing?
if he gets released and he's on the right path, I'll be there to help him. I know he's good. He's getting care packs. I have women messaging me on Facebook when I don't answer my dad's phone calls. They'd be like, your dad called. Random women.
Yeah, well, that's a big thing. You don't notice all the serial killers, they get like a ton of fan mail?
That he has pen pals out the ass. It's crazy. So I know he's good. He's getting his care packages.
You think in his 50s he's still actively a gang member?
No, he probably. I know in jail there's a certain form you got to do to survive. I know like that. He's been in jail for so long. I don't even know if he would know how to act when he comes out to the world.
Yeah,
But he's proud of me, and I'm happy about. Would I help him? Yes. But one mistake, I'm out. Like, you know.
Would you let him live with you?
I probably would.
Yeah.
I probably would. If he needs the help, yeah, I would definitely help my dad. I'm not gonna let my dad be on the street. That wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let him live with me, but I'll probably get him like a studio or something.
Yeah, you'll set him up nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be patient. You know, he might have some ways that.
Who knows? He might have some people out that he already said he gonna live with.
Yeah, he might have one of his pen pals lining him up.
Think your mom will get back with him?
Never. My mom's happily married. She's been married to my stepfather for 7 years now. So
You think your stepdad will be a little insecure when he gets out?
I think that would be a big shock to everybody if he really gets out on parole.
Yeah.
They reached out to my mom's job. They sent letters saying that they want her statement to fight for his parole.
Yeah.
So
Well, good luck to him. Sorry to the victims and their families.
thank you.
Hopefully he made amends and he can move forward with life.
I hope so too.
Yeah, it's a long time to be in jail.
Any advice for kids out there whose their fathers are serving time, or even mothers?
Stay strong. Stay occupied. Work. Life isn't over. You gotta hustle to survive, and you gotta work to survive.
And for the kids that out there that glorify that stuff, this will come with it, you know.
Yeah, violence, guns, fighting, stabbing, it's not the answer. Just live life and do what you gotta do. Do it right.
And be a dad, be active in your kid's life, so you don't end up have to be in hospice care.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
Even though I would prefer that, I don't want my girl to wipe my ass. I'd rather a stranger.
I mean, they say you born alone, you die alone. So, you know.
Oh, I wasn't born alone.
Yeah, I not see that, but
I prefer you to be in hospice than wiping your ass.
All right, anything else you want to add? Again, shout out where they can find you at. Let them know.
you can find me at Crown Royal, crowned_ROYAL, like the drink.
That's your Instagram, right?
Yes, that's my Instagram.
Yeah. Look 'em up.
All right, well, what we do is we typically close out every episode we call Dropping the Gem, and you could drop a gem if you want.
Stay solid, because diamonds don't crack.
There it is.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate you.
Hey, thanks again. It was nice.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you all for tuning in. Blanc, you know the vibes. Bling.
Thanks, man.
No problem. Appreciate it. That was good. Holy shit.